Hi guys, how's it going? Recently I've been studying through the book of 2 Kings and more specifically the life and works of Elisha. And there's a story from that I want to share about the Naaman, the Syrian commander. So for those of you who don't know, Elisha was the apprentice of Elijah. Both were prophets who were in Israel during the the time of King Ahab, my bad, who was a notoriously wicked king who needed a lot of prophesying against. Elisha was he witnessed Elijah being taken to heaven without dying, the only other person to do that besides Jesus. He received a double portion of Elijah's spirit, and he performed a lot of amazing miracles throughout Israel back in the time. Naaman, on the other hand, as I said before, was a commander of Syria. Syria and Israel did not like each other at the time at all. Syria, literally a chapter after the story I'm about to share, besieged Samaria so bad, which is the capital of Israel at the time, that people were like selling bird droppings because they were starving that bad. These two countries are not close at all. Naaman, very highly respected commander in the Syrian army. One issue though, he's suffering from serious leprosy. And at that time, you were just completely shunned if you had leprosy. It was like you were cursed. And Naaman had a slave girl who worked for him, who was an Israelite. And she mentioned to him about Elisha, and that he was a man of God, and that he could potentially heal her, or heal him. And even though he was a Syrian commander, he humbled himself and went to the king of Israel, seeing if he could find Elisha, that he could ask for him to heal him, potentially. Let me see if that's reading real fast. No, not yet. The king was very skeptical, to say the least, but Elisha happened to be there, and he's like, hey, I'll see him, sure. It's fine. So then he pulled up, and I'm going to go over 1 Kings 5, 9 through 10 right now. Then Naaman went with his horse and chariot. He stood at the door of Elisha's house, and Elisha sent a message to him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you shall be clean. A little bit of background for the Jordan River is, it was not a very nice river. It was very muddy. It wasn't like he was told to like bath in like some mountain spring or something. Elisha's like, hey, bathe in this muddy river a couple times and you're gonna be good. Naaman, not seeing the wisdom in doing that and having pride, 1 Kings 5, 11 through 15, became furious and went away and said, indeed, I said to myself, he will surely come out to me and stand and call in the name of the Lord his God and wave his hand over the place and heal the leprosy. Are not the Abana and the Praphar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned away and went in his rage. And his servant came near and spoke to him and said, my father, if the prophet had told you to do something great, would you not have done it? How much more then when he says to you, wash and be clean? So he went down and dipped 7 times in the Jordan according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. And he returned to the man of God, and he and all his aides, and came and stood before him, and he said, indeed, now I know that there is no God in all the earth except in Israel. Now therefore, please take a gift from your servant. This is really interesting to me because Naaman heard the word of Elisha, and he didn't want to do it. Like, it was beneath him. He's a big, strong commander. He has many men under him. Wash in this Israel River 7 times. Like, he was expecting some holy miracle. Like, he even mentioned specifically waving his hand over him and calling upon God. Like, that's what he came expecting. His pride was hurt when he heard what Elijah told him to do. Thankfully, even with all this pride going through his head, he was convinced to at least just give it a shot. Like, yes, it's a little bit humiliating, a little bit like belittling to him, but he was told to do it. He may not know why, but he was told to by the man of God, so he might as well. And then he was healed. And I feel like this is applicable in our lives in a lot of ways, because a lot of times we don't know why God tells us to do certain things. We can't see the vision. We don't know where it's going to go. And just like with Naaman's healing, like from Elisha, God always has a plan. And his ways are better than our ways 100% of the time. I think it's just really fascinating to read a story about that happening, especially since this was someone who wasn't really a follower of God either. Like, he wasn't an Israelite. And this is not a super related story. It is from Elisha, though, and I do want to share it. It doesn't contribute to the message at all. But 1 Kings 2:23-24, this is right after Elijah went to heaven. Then he went up from there to Bethel, and as he was going up to the road, some youths came up from the city and mocked him and said to him, "Go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head." So he turned around and looked at them and pronounced a curse on them in the name of the Lord, and 2 female bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the youths. This doesn't contribute to the message at all, but this is such a funny story. Elisha crashed out super hard on these kids for calling them bald. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.